Hey everybody, this is Roberta Eastman from Home Buyers Inventory. And today we're going to talk about 5 important things to remember so that you can get the best mortgage. We are here at Home Buyers Q&A number 55. Now, the last time we spoke about even if you have bad credit, you can get a mortgage. Now we're going to give you 5 ways to make sure, or 5 things to think through and make sure you're positioned so that you get the best mortgage. So the market in new houses is experiencing a great increase right now. And there's no inventory. If there is inventory on the market, people are offering $15,000 over the asking price, and they're still getting beat out because there's such very little inventory on the market. So one of the things that we want to do is help you get into a home. Then you have the opportunity to shop for the best mortgage, and you don't have to face the competition like everybody else because you've already got the ability to buy your home through our rent-to-own program. So let's help you by sharing these tips so that you can be working on getting the best mortgage so that when you're ready to buy that house, you're going to be able to do it. So old houses are now being traded for newer ones. And when I say that, I don't mean a house that was just built. I mean, maybe somebody had 1900 house and then they're trading that in for a 1950s house. So old houses are often being traded up for newer ones, which again is one of the reasons why there's not a lot of inventory on the market. A great way to move into a home purchase is to do a rent-to-own home. And here at Home Buyers Inventory, that is what we do. So if there are reasons that you're not eligible to buy a home outright due to you're self-employed, right? When we're self-employed, we typically want to take the write-offs that we have the ability to take in our business to offset the income. Well, when you do that, the banks don't like it. They need you to be seeing your taxes or seeing your income that you're making from self-employment on your taxes for at least 2 years. Or if you're ineligible because you've just relocated and you haven't had a job long enough, the banks require you to have 2 years of job security in order for them to give you a loan. Or if you have bad credit, you need to have the time available to you to get the bad credit taken care of. If you happen to owe something that's on your credit, then pay it. If you have to dispute it because maybe it wasn't yours, then you need to have the time to write to the credit bureaus and get that information off of your credit. And that's what will happen. So you shouldn't worry if any of these reasons is why you are not eligible, because we can help with all of those. These are the types of people that we help through our rent-to-own home program, and that gives them the time to get their taxes in order if they're self-employed, to go ahead and get the security of 2 years employment underneath their feet, or to get their bad credit taken care of on their own. They don't need to pay somebody to take care of their credit for them. And what the rent-to-own program does is it helps you plan for buying a home in the future. So while getting to home ownership through our rent-to-own home program will probably, happen in just a couple of years, you can buy that home if you consider the following tips. Do not make too many purchases for the next couple of years. Instead, save that money. Another reason for this is that even a debt of only $15,000 is still going to appear unpleasant to the mortgage lender's credit score system. Here's another big one. Do not choose a rent price that is way over what you are currently paying unless you can justify that you have the income. One of the questions that we ask people, and we say, if you don't mind me asking, what are you currently paying for rent? Because if they're paying $750 and their rent is now going to be $900, that's a jump. They need to be able to make sure that they can afford that. We want to make sure that they can afford that because we never want to put somebody in a position where all they're doing is living for their rent or living for their home. That doesn't usually work because we are all creatures of habit, right? We want to go out to eat every once in a while, or we absolutely need to be able to have food and so on and so forth, pay the bills, the utilities. So you never want to choose a rent price that is way over what you are currently paying unless you can justify that you have the income. A lot of people can do this. They have the income and they're not currently paying for the rent. And this is a great step in order to get them into buying a home and having the home of their dreams. So just make sure you do a reality check for yourself, because you have to ensure that you are able to pay your debt load consistently. And that's a really important key word. Consistency is what the banks are going to be looking for. So before choosing the house you want, consider your income. Do not get disqualified for a mortgage because you've made those big purchases and you've done other things on your credit that would disqualify you. So we're going to help make sure that you get approved and you are going to qualify. Now, we're not going to do the work for you, but we're going to share with you the resources that if you have to dispute, we have template letters that you can use. If you are self-employed, we know what that's like. So you need to be able to show your taxes. Your debt to income ratio is important. We know those things because we've gone through them ourselves. See, we needed to take this journey ourselves as well, and that's why we offer the rent to own. So in order to qualify, you are required to submit your credit information to a mortgage lender. And that is to qualify for the bank loan when you go to buy the house. That is not what you need to do to qualify for the rent to own, but you do need to do that when you're about to buy the home. You're going to go to a mortgage lender and they're going to run your credit, and you're going to have to give them your information. And you're going to have to allow them to get your credit report and your debt to income data. So make sure you're not running high balances on credit cards. Here's one that people don't often think about. Don't forget your money personality that you have before taking a mortgage. Which means if you're used to a high level of spending on items that aren't necessary, you should consider this and make a plan on how you're going to cut back. And you would do this before you need to get the mortgage, not after. If you practice cutting back while you're doing a rent-to-own home, then this makes the difference of having a choice to do it versus feeling as if you're forced to do it. Keep in mind that home possession may provide many desires for wanting to go out and buy new items. You're excited, you think this needs to be fitting in this space, you think you need all of this new stuff. So you need to keep that in mind and again, plan for it. Because you cannot forego your payments, whether mortgage or rent, to purchase these items. But all it takes is planning. Therefore, if you're planning to apply for our rent-to-own home program, be sure to remember these 5 important things in order to end up successfully with the best dream home possible. You can learn more about the rent-to-own program. You can learn more about credit or self-employment or relocation. We have a blog and it has several different articles on it and information that are going to help you plan in order to be able to go and get the best mortgage that you can. So visit us at www.homebuyersinventory.com. And while you're over there, like I said, make sure you read the blog, get all of the free information that we offer. We have an infographic actually on how the 5 steps of getting into the rent-to-own program works. We have free tips on how to reduce water consumption and the kind of money that it will save you. So all kinds of ways to save money and to get yourself into your home. So again, I'll see you on the other side at www.homebuyersinventory.com.